breaking developments after a plane carrying over 240 people crashed in India overnight.
I just think it's important to come and speak for the people that can't.
ICE protests have spread across the country, including here in San Diego, and we're learning when Marines could arrive in Los Angeles.
Applications open today for a new state mortgage fund that could help flood victims from that January 2024 storm.
What's quite special about these is that they're very unique and very uncommon.
Can some people function with only 3 hours of sleep? It's 6 a.m. on Thursday, June 12th, and you're up with CBS 8. Breaking news to bring to you right now. A passenger plane carrying 242 people has crashed in India. This horrific video here. Our authorities say there appears to be no survivors. The Air India flight went down in the city of Ahmedabad about 5 minutes after taking off.
It was headed to London. The plane was carrying people from India, Britain, Portugal, and Canada. It crashed in a residential area. Total number of casualties still unclear. We will bring you all these breaking updates as soon as we get them. It is 6 a.m. here on your Thursday. Thanks for being here. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Glad you're starting off your day with us at CBS 8. We do want to check in on that forecast, that misty morning out here.
Yeah, very misty out by the coast and even inland to start off the day. By the time we get to this afternoon, that's when we're going to start to transition toward a bit more sunshine. Very typical for us for this time of year. Take a look, temperatures in the upper 60s. By the time we get to the afternoon, upper 70s across our inland valleys and partly cloudy skies. There's no change in this forecast except for the likelihood that the coastline will stay socked in for a good portion of the day. But that's been pretty typical for the last several. Here's a live look at the fog that we have outside. Back to you two.
Well, today a federal judge is set to hold a hearing over Governor Gavin Newsom's request to block the Trump administration from using military force in Los Angeles. We've learned Marines will arrive by the end of the week as LA remains the focal point for nationwide anti-ICE protests.
Meantime, the National Guard now on standby in Texas as protests there intensify. Demonstrations are spreading in other cities, including right here in San Diego County.
No, Trump! Do you hear the anger in my voice? We're not.
A stretch of Highland Avenue in National City filled with flags and signs as hundreds of people protested against immigration enforcement. This was yesterday. One man telling us his brother-in-law, who had lived in the U.S. for more than 20 years, was recently detained.
Grandparents are from Guadalajara, so they came out here, bring us a better life, and now, like, I even have family that got picked up by ICE the other day too, so it's been hitting my family too as well.
Despite some tense moments, the protests remained mostly peaceful, and some people even helped clean up trash afterwards. Starting today, people displaced by the January 2024 floods can start applying for a new state program.
Yeah, it's called the Cal Assist Mortgage Fund, and CBS 8's Regina Yorita live downtown with details on the application process for this year. Morning.
Hey, good morning, Eric and Neda. That's right. And this is going to be assistance through the form of grants. And it's going to help for those who are struggling financially because of those natural disasters, like the flood victims who are still going through the repairs because of that January 22nd storm that happened back in 2024. But also for other California homeowners who also had their homes destroyed in natural disasters. So this could get some relief with this new state program launching today. The Cal Assist Mortgage Fund is distributing $105 million in grants to cover up to 3 months of mortgage payments with a maximum of $20,000. Now, these grants do not have to be repaid, and applying to the program is free. Grants will be sent directly to the approved homeowner's mortgage servicer, and the program is taking applications online starting today. But again, it is free to apply. So back out here, if you are looking to apply for this grant of application, you can definitely have one-on-one assistance. They have a phone number that you can call as well to get everything started. But again, that application starts today. I'll send it back to you guys.
Regina, thanks. Today, workers at Albertsons, Ralph's, and Vons grocery stores will begin preparations for a possible strike.
Yesterday, workers voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike. CBS 8's Chris Grow live in Claremont now with what workers are demanding. Chris.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And so, look, they've authorized the strike, but that does not mean that it is happening now. They are still in the midst of negotiations, which are set to resume later this month. But what this vote signifies is that this union is getting serious here, as they believe that they have begun to reach sort of a stalemate, if you will. Now, as for this union, it represents 45,000 workers across Southern California at Vons, Albertsons, Ralph's, and Pavilions. This vote authorization strike is one that just recently happened. It is a negotiation tactic that the union hopes will bring more immediacy to talks with the grocery chains. Now, back in 2022, the union and grocery stores approved a 3-year deal that increased hourly pay $4.25 for most workers. Some classifications received higher pay raises, but that agreement expired back in March. Negotiations are expected to resume June 25th. Now, we heard from the union in a statement, and it reads in part, quote, "For months, we've pushed for real solutions to short staffing, unsafe conditions, and unfair wages. And while we've had some good discussions on staffing in this session, we still don't have satisfactory results from Kroger and Albertsons. They have moved another measly quarter on wages at the 11th hour today, but we're still very far apart on what we need to support our families and other issues important to us, like clerks, helpers working in a higher classification, and increased premiums for department heads." Now, we did reach out to the stores, but that was early this morning. We're still waiting to see if we do hear back from them. One interesting note is that the union did not release the results of the vote. For instance, how much of their union membership voted in favor of authorizing the strike. Eric and Netta.
Chris, thank you for the details on that. A revised county budget proposal will be released today. The previous $8.6 billion proposal had an increase of 1% over last year's budget. It included investments in homelessness solutions and behavioral health, with $100 million of new funding for mental health resources. Some proposed cuts would impact pay for some county workers and an adult housing program. A final budget adoption is now set for June 24th. Again, this is for the county.
San Diego had the highest inflation rate in the nation last month. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, while inflation was up overall in the United States, it wasn't up as much as expected. The Consumer Price Index rose to 2.4% in May compared to a year ago, but the inflation rate here was 3.8% higher than New York and Chicago. Economists say housing costs are the primary issue because employers have to pay workers more to afford housing, which then leads to higher prices for other goods. It's the last day of school for the Poway Unified School District. This is the third largest school district in San Diego County. They shared this video of the high school graduates visiting an elementary school yesterday. So big congratulations to the class of 2025. I actually got to see that happen a year or two ago when my son was graduating elementary school. It's such a sight to see. I got all 3 kids are done with school today. So I'll have an 8th.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though?
It's good and bad. Got to keep them busy.
Exactly.
8th, 7th, and 5th grader I'll have now.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Exciting.
Oh, big changes ahead.
And then that means next year you'll have your first high schooler.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Let's not talk about that yet.
Yeah, exactly. You got a year to go.
Middle
You got
school.
some time to go.
Yeah,
that's
right.
And congratulations to all the teachers who have wrapped up their school year and get a nice summer break in store now. When we look outside, it's foggy as we kick off our Thursday morning. Unsurprisingly, it's been the case for almost every morning, but what I will say is we're a bit more socked in out along the coast than we've been for the last several. Yesterday was an issue mainly affecting Ramona and El Cajon. Today it's pretty much county-wide that you'll see that fog, that mist, and that drizzle. At least temperatures are really mild, mostly upper 50s, low 60s, 61 right now in Oceanside, 60 in Del Mar, 61 in Mira Mesa, and El Cajon. Remember, clouds help to keep our temperatures quite uniform in the overnight stretch. If you're looking for the afternoon sun, maybe you've been a little jaded with the cloud cover along the coast and highs in the 60s. Well, remember that it was just 2 weeks ago that Ramona hit a high of 100 degrees. From then we dropped down to the 70s, but for the entirety of this work week, we've been above average being 82 degrees. We made it to 88 on Tuesday, 86 yesterday. So just goes to show that all you have to do is drive east if you're looking for a bit more of the sun and for those warmer temperatures in play. Between now and the upcoming weekend, we're going to keep warming up. What I'll say is that today and tomorrow, the work week as a whole, temperatures are not really swayed all that much. We're mostly right around average, and in some cases out by the coast, were slightly cooler than average. But as we get into the weekend and really through the weekend, by Sunday, we start to see those temperatures climb into the above average range. By the time we get to Sunday, that's Father's Day, 85 degrees is our average afternoon high across our inland valleys. So this weekend, we'll still hold on to the clouds up by the coast. June gloom, for example, is going to stay in full play by the water. However, as you make your way east, that's where we really start to jump into the upper 70s, low 80s, and for the mountains and deserts, 90s and triple digits out there. Let's take a look at how traffic is shaping up as we kick off your morning. So far, we've got just 2 spots that I want to take you to. First one is up in the Del Mar area. This is a crash that just popped up. Right-hand shoulder is blocked with a crash on the 5 southbound at Del Mar Heights Road. No major backups in either direction right now because volume is still rather light. We're taking you down south to a stalled vehicle that actually just got cleared here. This was on the 94 eastbound at the 805 southbound, but it looks like that has now been cleared and CHP has been able to get that off the radar here. So we're looking pretty good to start off your Thursday morning. As far as your border wait times go, it's a 100-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. It's going to take you about an hour 40. Otay Mesa Port of Entry should be able to get across just a little bit faster in about an hour and a half.